Hi, friends. Um, I'm not particularly comfortable on videos, so please bear with me here. But I just want to take a moment and discuss something that's of great personal interest to me, kind of a personal passion, really. And that's Iran. And many of you probably remember back in late 2017 when President Trump went to the UN and gave this speech where he was basically calling out the enemies of the U.S. I like to kind of think of it as the Rocket Man speech, where he was calling out North Korea and he was also calling out Iran. And it was great because you could actually on camera see the Iranians in the room looking very nervous, right? Now, I'm not a big Trump supporter myself. I have many criticisms of the Trump administration, but I think that in that moment there was something that was quite great about that, because shortly after Trump gave that speech, we saw protests in the streets of Iran explode. And it was amazing, right? And actually, I think I recall looking at reports where these people were marching into the city of Qom, one of Iran's holy cities, and destroying ancient Islamic artifacts. And I think this says something a lot about this movement that's in Iran right now, where it's essentially anti-Islam, and that they trust America more than anyone else, you know? And what's interesting about those protests that erupted in late 2017, and yes, it was kind of squashed by the regime, right? But it was definitely massive. And but it never died. The unrest in Iran has persisted since then. So for almost 2 years now, if you were kind of following it, there's definitely a movement there. And we could see it, for example, within the past couple of years with the White Wednesdays movement, where we saw brave young Iranian women, waving their stupid fucking holy hijabs in public on social media, trying to get the world's attention, right? And at great personal risk to themselves. I mean, let us imagine what actually goes down with a young woman in Iran, in an Iranian prison, right? And that's what these girls were trying to do. They were basically martyring themselves for a bigger movement. And it was never killed. And what we've seen within the past few days is that this movement has once again exploded. And this regime has nearly shut down all internet, right? Which is basically all they got right now. But there's lots of reports coming in that there are thousands and thousands of brave Iranians being arrested, injured, and killed. And from what I've seen, those, based on these reports so far, those being killed are young male Iranians being shot in the head by snipers from Iranian security forces, right? So I think it's really important for us right now as Americans to do just one thing for these people, and that's to show them the moral support that they need online to take down one of, if not the most dangerous, brutal, terrorizing regime in the world. And think about the possibilities of this. If we can just provide them that much, and if they are successful in doing this, and I think ultimately they will be, they will take down a regime that is responsible for the most terrorism in the world. And this could possibly create a pretty strong alliance with the United States and basically stabilize the Middle East, right? So I think this is really important for us to get behind Iran and to show these brave people that we support them and what they're doing. Because I think there's a lot of evidence that these people are, in essence, anti-Islam and pro-America. And if you don't believe me on this, then speak to an Iranian, particularly one who's from Tehran. I just think there's a lot of evidence that there's a lot of people in Iran right now that share our values, and that this could work out very, very well for them, and they just need our support. So please, get